Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Kev Play. This is Kevin, and we are on part 1 of Chivalry II. Figured I'd mix things up, you know, kind of do what we did with Crash Team Rumble and Last of Us Part 2, where we kind of flip-flopped in between. Get a new game in. And this is a good, fun online 2021 live service game. One of the first big draws for cross-play for me. I just want to make sure we have good audio, if that's possible. Just make sure that maybe the master volume can come down a bit. If we run into any issues, headphone mode. Alright, so we'll keep it a little low like this, I guess. This will be a test run, I guess, but this is still part 1. And I figure we'll just jump right in, because I don't really, like, I pretty much play as just one class. There's different classes, but you'll see. We'll mix it up. I think we'll play the 64-player team objective and do map rotation there. That's pretty much where that's where the party is, pretty much. Let's see how we do. Now, this is a game that I've been grinding all year with. The trophies can tend to get buggy, but I realized that what you had to do in order to get them to start tracking is you need to turn crossplay off and then turn crossplay on, and then you play. You do that every time you boot up the game, which is tedious, but it helped in the long run. I put a lot of hours into this game. This is a good game to sink time into, watch a podcast, play with friends. But there's a lot of trophies you got to grind for a bit, and I was able to do that. This is the Raising of Askendir. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but in retaliation for the attack on Bulwark, Mason forces seek something. Blah 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 blah. The Raising of Askendir. Oh, it forces seek to sack Askendir, the culture. I still couldn't read in time. Oh, you could read probably. But yeah, I put a lot of time to this. Almost like I want to say 300 to 400 hours. So it was a lot, but that time kind of eats. That time kind of Oh, gotta get used to this again. Basically, that time kind of flies when you're having fun. But yeah, I ended up platinuming this game. Still a lot to unlock and stuff for, like, you know, your different classes and stuff. So there's always something to do. But right now, I'm supposed to be toppling the columns, but I'm not really doing that, but I'm... Oh! Basically, it's block, dodge, hit, and it's all about... It's like a dance. You have to... Combat is like being in a nice... Oh, that's my teammate. Now, I have health. I can heal myself. I don't have my shield, which is not good, but I have this shield. Pick up other people's shields. Now our goal is to topple this, which is one of our teammates is doing that right now. I want to get my sword back if I can grab one of these.
Only a single column is left standing. Destroy it.
Oh, that's my teammate. Sometimes their armor looks. We're supposed to be going after like the golden people. Sometimes our own teammates' armor can be a little deceiving. But look at this guy. This is not my main weapon. It's my secondary weapon. I don't know where my main weapon went. I got knocked out of my hands. But I'm still in my first life. This is pretty good for my first time showcasing the game, that I'm still alive for this long without being that much of a coward. Oh god. Dope. The goal would be to try to topple this, so I think I'm gonna try that. Alright. When you die, you get to commend your player, you get a little bit more points for your experience points, all that jazz. Now this, we're at the kind of like that the latter stages of, because in this series of, in this game type, you're going through different phases in order to push your, like right now we're on offense, so we're trying to push ourselves to each phase. This is one of the latter phases. I think after this one, there's 2 more. That's my teammate again. I keep doing that. It's been a while. Nope. My own teammate took me out. Now, if you damage your team too much, and it becomes apparent that you are actually trying to be doing, you know, killing your team, the game tracks that. So, like, if a vote's cast against you, if you're going to get kicked out of the server, players can see whether you are actually, whether it's actually deserved or not. Now, right now I'm playing as a Knight Guardian class. And right now I have one of my power-ups, which is a banner, which, like, basically when you put the banner up, it heals everybody in the vicinity gradually. So I'll put one right here. And then you can see right there in the, you know, where my crosshair is on the right of it, showing that everyone's getting healed. But usually the... If you're on the opposite team, you're gonna try to get rid of that banner. Oh my God. So in this game you get downed and then you get killed. So when you're downed and you're just crawling around, you can get revived by your team. And if you actually get some melees in, and even possibly down another enemy, you can get a chance to stand back up, which is cool. So while this guy's trying to topple this, I'm gonna... Oh, that thing's falling. There we go.
Masons, destroy those ridiculous astrological artifacts.
This game has a sense of humor similar to, I would say, Helldivers. Hey, Papa Pig. How's it going? Oh wow, they must have updated the PS5 broadcast features, because I can see your... Yeah, Chivalry II. I can see your text bubble on the right, even though it goes away after a while, but it used to not do that. When we were playing Crash Team Rumble, I didn't see that. I had to look at my phone. But I'm still looking at my phone, that way if it disappears, didn't read it in time, I can at least, you know, catch up on the text, on the chat. This, I'm not playing with any friends or anything, I'm just playing, we're just playing it normally. Maybe I'll do, like, a friends episode at the end. But for now, I'm just gonna do, like, map rotations and stuff like that. Right now, we're supposed to get rid of these artifacts and just, like, damage it. This guy's trying to defend it. You just gotta, like, whack at it. And then it falls. Healing here. Oh, I'm downed. And my team can revive me if they can get to me. There you go. How's my audio, by the way? Is everything good? Like, am I hard of hearing or anything? Oh. Okay, good. So we have a state of play coming up tomorrow. It'll be for me 6 p.m. Eastern time, so literally right as I'm coming home from work. So I can't wait. I've been a little starved for something new ever since completing Astrobot. I've heard Concord 2 is gonna be... Yeah, I saw that fake, State of Play leak with, like, all, like, the remasters of remasters, and Concord 2. Alright, so we just gotta... Oh! Now, they say over 20 plus... They said 20 plus games from PS5 and PSVR 2. So I'm expecting, like, maybe 3, maybe 4 at most PSVR 2 titles. And then the rest... I mean, if I'm to put some predictions in, I would say we might see that Horizon Zero Dawn remaster. If it's not Half-Life Alyx, I don't care. Yeah. Oh my god, that guy. Okay. I still have yet to play Half-Life on PC. I do have Steam now. On my new laptop, so I might get into those games. I used to play Half-Life 1 for a bit on at my friend's house, but I just didn't have time to finish it or anything. But yeah, if I was to make a prediction, we might see like a Horizon Zero Dawn remaster, like they've been saying forever now. You should run it just fine on your PC. Yeah, on my laptop it should work. It's a small game compared to how games are nowadays. Also, Horizon... I mean, this has been a talking point forever, so whatever, I'm past it at this point. I know it's been brought back into the limelight of discussion on Twitter, but whatever. We already knew that was going to be a thing. We already know... We already know that Horizon is like the big push from, especially now that Herman Hulst is the CEO. He wants Horizon to thrive. The Lego game, all the remaster, the PSVR 2 game, like the TV show that's supposed to come out, like they're obsessed with that IP. But and then there was also talks of a Days Gone remaster. I don't know. I'm not honestly like I don't need these things. I don't need that stuff. You know, I'm not really that excited about it. It's good that Days Gone is at least, you know, if it's not going to get a sequel, then whatever. You know, breathe some new life into it somehow, even though it's a 5-year-old game. But I think the real predictions that I'm most that I'm really looking forward to. And what I think is kind of realistic, but I think... I don't know, we'll have to see. Is... One thing I'm wondering is... You know, they gave us a Horizon Forbidden West DLC from 2022. Well, the game was in 2022, they gave us the DLC. They gave us the DLC Valhalla for God of War, which came out in that, you know, which was released a little later. I think the DLC for Horizon was released in the next year in the spring. And the second game, I mean the God of War game was released more in the summer, I'd say. I forget. But we got those. I'm wondering if we're going to get... I'm wondering if we're going to get a Spider-Man 2 DLC thing. Because I feel like it's now or never for them, because I feel like 2025 is going to be a huge year. We're on offense, by the way, and we had to push these catapults in the first phase to in position. Every time you get to a new phase, you buy yourself more time. We're basically going through like a series of phases. We're and we're pushing. Basically, we're basically trying to get to the next phase. Obviously, the other team's trying to stop us. So, but yeah, I'm wondering if there's Spider-Man 2 DLC because Spider-Man 2 came out last year, almost a year ago now. And usually Spider-Man has been known to do that, to have DLC features. And I feel like with how many games are going to be coming out next year, third party and maybe first party, you kind of want to get those. I feel like now would be the time to do it. Like if they announced that there's a Spider-Man 2 DLC that's going to come out by the end of this year, I feel like that's very realistic. I don't know. I can't remember what the Insomniac leak revealed in terms of their roadmap, but obviously things could change since then, since that was revealed. But I feel like it's something that's practical. Yeah, I'm sure they'll do. Yeah, I agree. What I want to see, obviously, we know Death Stranding 2 is set for next year. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I don't think I need to see any more of that personally, that trailer-wise, but I would like to. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something from that. I want to see but most importantly, I want to see something new though from Sony's first party, whether it's Ghost of Tsushima 2 or Venom or whatever, whatever. Like I feel like now that Astrobot is done, we got Astrobot in a state of play during the summer, and we didn't know about that game until that state of play. Now that we're past that, and everyone's pretty much done with that game, I feel like it's time to tell us what the next thing is to be thinking about. By the way, I am doing really good. Maybe I'm like in a flow state when I'm talking about state of play predictions here. Alright, level 6 mace. We're supposed to push these battering rams, but we're overwhelmed. If they have more teammates in the area, then the battering ram won't push. If we have more teammates, then we'll get the push. Don't.
Yes, our battering ram has reached the gate.
All right, I think there's 2 battering rams, so you just need to get 1 to reach the gate. Now we got to use that. You actually use the battering ram or use the catapult to break down the gate. But I don't remember seeing anything in that for DLC in that Insomniac leak. Things could change. I don't know if that Insomniac leak is. I think for the most part it was all accurate, but I don't think it's all concrete. But I would imagine it's going to happen at some point, a DLC. So I just feel like it would be time to have it for the end of this year. I think it would be an opportune time for it. But other than that, yeah, I want to see something new. Give us something new. Whether it's Ghost of Tsushima 2, I mean, God, next year is going to be loaded. I'm already set with games for, Judas and Death Stranding 2 and GTA 5. Those are the big 3 games that I'm looking forward to next year. And there's some other games too. Okay, I just got catapulted to death by my own team, but it's worth it. We got the gate open. But yeah, we need, if we can get one more game in there, one more first part, because we already have Death Stranding 2 as, I guess Sony's second party game, but it's still part of PlayStation Studios, I believe, right? So, but if we can get another PlayStation Studios game for the year, I'll be satisfied. But I feel like something's got to be, all these teams have been cooking for a while, and I feel like time is, we're due for something more. This guy's on this. Can't have that. Don't. It's my battle cry. You can see square square is battle cry, and then circle circle is tackle. So I can like knock someone in their ass if they were right in front of me by charging them. Time to take this guy out. There we go. I feel like this team is really easy. I'm just having a grand old time taking them out. Alright. I feel like I'm on a winning team right now. Trying to use my health here, but it's not really working. Okay, there we go. You get one bandage per, or two, I think you get one bandage, but you can hold two bandages. You come with a bandage when you respawn, but you can get more from the ammo crate. Dope. I ordered a new game because I was kind of in a drought. I've been playing like NHL 24 for the last couple of days, and that's good for like, you know, a few rounds. But I need a game to kind of sink myself into, and now that I've platinumed Uncharted Lost Legacy. Oh, I did platinum Uncharted Lost Legacy, by the way. Last time I said I was almost done platinuming it, but I did manage to get the platinum for that game. Beyond that, after I got that, it's like, I was like, what else? I was trying to look at my backlog, or not my backlog, but the games I currently own. And I was like, what can I, like, revisit and try to, like, see if I can, like, knock some trophies out or something. And there was a bunch of games I was looking at. But then ultimately I was just like, I don't know if I want to... I feel like after platinuming Astrobug, platinuming Uncharted Lost Legacy, going back to that game, that old 2017 game, having platinumed Death Stranding 2 this year, going back to that game, and then, you know, platinuming South Park Snow Day and Helldivers 2, like, I feel like I've earned the right to kind of, like in my personal, like, I personally felt that I was good enough to get a new game if I wanted to, because I kind of, like, did the work I felt that would make it feel justified to, you know, get something new. But I was having trouble. I was like, I don't know what I want. There were like 4 games I was trying to that I was like tinkering with getting, and I basically made the decision to get just kind of a weird, kind of a not a weird decision, but a kind of a game I don't usually the type of game I don't usually play, and that's Kingdom Come Deliverance. I ordered on Amazon for PS4 because in 2025 there's going to be Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is coming out for PS5, and that's supposed to be awesome. And I always heard great things about the first game. but I just never got around to it. It's like a realistic. It's like a realistic first-person single-player version of, medieval times. Swords play, and it's an RPG. Oh. Yes. So I figured it'll be a game just to play to pass the time until the end of the year.
Break the enemy's spirit by striking their banners from the walls.
I don't know what 2020. I don't know what the state of play has in store for us. So I don't know if there's going to be a game that's going to be like coming out by the end of this year that's like, oh, maybe I should have waited. But I've been so like this past weekend I've been so bored. And I've been trying to entertain the idea of like sticking to a bit of a budget and playing the games I already have or whatever that I've already beaten, but games that I could probably work on towards a platinum or whatever. But I'm just like, I'm not really feeling it right now. I'd rather just play something new. And that's the game I chose, I guess. It was either that. I was tinkering with Elden Ring, but I feel like that's going to be a deep dive of a game. Like a lot of, I think Kingdom Come Deliverance is going to ask a lot of me too. But not only is Elden Ring like a big long game, but it's a hard game, and I don't feel like I really wanted to play a incredibly difficult game right now, like everyone says it is. I think it's not as hard as like the other Souls games, but I've never played any of those games before, so at least with that game, I can always come back to it at some point because it's like it's a standalone game. Whereas, at least if I get Kingdom Come Deliverance, I can set myself up to whether I want the sequel later on, which might be the case. Another game I was thinking of getting was System Shock for PS, which came out last year, which is the remake of the 1995 game, which is from Ken Levine's BioShock. Yeah, I'm afraid of trying the Souls games too. I heard Elden Ring is a little easier going in terms of being accessible for new players compared to like Dark Souls or whatever. But I don't know. It's like I'm not feeling it at the moment, so I'll wait on it. And I think I have time to wait on it still. It's definitely. It seems like a very important game for this generation, though, which is what piques my curiosity about it. Dope. But yeah, it was that, or like I was thinking of System Shock, which came out last year. I figured I'd beat I beat the BioShock trilogy this year, but then I was like, Judas is coming out next year. I don't need to go crazy with all this like backlog. Like I think it's already commendable enough that I went through all those BioShock games like I did. And I'll get Judas when it comes out. System Shock looks like it's almost similar to what Dead Space is in a way, and it looks interesting because like the like AI computer thinks it's like a god or something, and it's like trying to take over the space station. I like that premise. But it's supposed to be a very old school game though. Like it doesn't hold your hand in terms of what you're supposed to do. And I don't know if I want to deal with that right now, where like I'm just confused as to what to be doing. Let's heal up. Dope. That's gotta hurt. And the other game I was thinking of getting too, but I feel like, and it kind of sets me up for the new game that's coming out, I think next year or so, but I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know if I was in the mood for it, but it was a game that's been on my radar for a while, and that's Doom 2016. And then I figured I'd do Doom Eternal, and then I'd be ready for like Doom the Dark Ages or whatever. But I don't know. I'm not the biggest Doom guy. I like first-person shooters. I played the old school Doom back in the day at friends' houses, and I know those games are supposed to be kick-ass. The new games, but I don't know. It's like I feel like again, it's like too much backlog to try to get to in order to prepare yourself for a new game. I'd rather just go at my own pace if I'm gonna play those and not try to rush it. Doom is on sale on the PS Store. Okay. Well, you know me. I'm gonna get the physical. Dope. Oh, out-teamed. Or out-maneuvered there. But yeah, it was between those four games, really. And then I was like, you know what? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is coming out in February. I can probably play the first game in time. Plus, I have friends who are always, like, always praising it, and they're always giving it praise. And it's one of their favorite games from last generation. And they're ready to go into the second game, so at least I can have that kind of water cooler talk with them by catching up with that. Be part of the conversation, I guess. And if it's I feel like it's now or never to get that game anyway, because after 2025, we're gonna be drowning in new great games. I feel so. All right, we're supposed to destroy the banners, which we're not really doing. So I'm gonna put this banner out, the health banner out. We already took this one out. Dope. Fell. I think I have health. Alright, someone gave me some health. That's good. Nice. Alright, now we got the last phase, which is the trebuchets.
Our navy must pass safely through the strait.
This game is so chaotic and fun to me. Like the ragdoll. Well, not really. Like, I guess it's but it's just like there's so many factors. The physics engine is so much fun. There's so many layers to the combat, but yet it's still accessible. It's not like overbearing or anything. I just charged that guy. Nice. That's my teammate. Alright. We're supposed to ignite these things. But yeah, I figured I'd get an episode in before tomorrow's State of Play, and see what's going on, you know? Alright, we've got the right one. We're pretty much a shoo-in. Once we have, like, if you have, like, over 4 minutes in this last phase, you're pretty much a shoo-in to get it, unless they're really good. Alright, we already have it lit. We basically just have to defend it. Can basically distract this guy. Oh, took that guy's arm off. Dope. Alright, should... Oh, I think they defused it. You can... So the enemy team can defuse. I'll try to keep these episodes, like the map rotations, canonical, so we don't really repeat maps too often. I know the map rotation order, so... Alright, so we have it lit. There we go. Oh, there's 4 of them, by the way. Okay, so we got to the next phase. What do you think about a Ghost of Tsushima 2? I don't know what the story... I mean, the story for the first game was very well done. I don't know where... Like, I have no imagination of where they're going to take it, but I can see them... I can see there being a lot of opportunity to come up with something substantial for a second game that warrants, you know, the sequel. You know, I feel like Ghost of Tsushima in general is why I really don't feel like I want to pick up Rise of the Ronin, because I feel like that's... Ghost of Tsushima fills the void of that genre way better, in my opinion, from what I could tell. You know, I never played the game, obviously, from Rise of the Ronin, but... I just trust Sony's first party. I trust Sucker Punch. I would really... That's a game I'm really looking forward to a lot. I would love to see that game become announced, finally. You know, there's other games that we don't know about. Cory Barlog has his... Cory Barlog is working at Sony Santa Monica on a new IP, non-God of War, which we don't know about what it is. You know, Naughty Dog has something cooking for a while in terms of single player. You know, we know Last of Us Part 3 is... Oh, nice, we won. We know Last of Us Part 3 is probable, but I know that Neil Druckmann said that there's also another non-Last of Us game in the works, which I would imagine, and I think the smartest thing for them to do is something completely new. Don't go back. As much as we want Jack, as much as we want Uncharted, leave those to other studios to do, like a Blue Point or, you know, kind of a support studio. Even if Bend is working on an Uncharted game or a Jack game, that, you know, let them do that. I think Ben's working on something else entirely, though. I don't know. We don't know what Ben's up to. We don't... Yeah, Sony Santa Monica is still cooking something. You know, God of War Ragnarok came out 2022, so... You know, we're going into 2025. You would think that maybe whatever Cory Barlog was working on, maybe there's something, well, you know, that can be shown at some... Again, this is not a showcase. We have to keep that in mind. This is a state of play. I don't know what it means for state of plays versus showcases anymore, though, because I feel like they're just not doing showcases anymore. It feels like they're spoon-feeding us whatever can be shown when it's ready. You know, we got Astrobot. We know that first-party games can show up at these things. And it could be smaller games, and independent games, you know.
Overrun the city of Galencourt and desecrate Vedran's tomb.
It would be nice if some random new game from non-first party could surprise us. Like, I would love to see... I don't know. I don't think we would see anything from a Toys for Bob or an Activision at this. I feel like that's more of a Microsoft thing now, right? Like not necessarily, like Microsoft doesn't own Toys for Bob, they're just working with them. But I feel like because they're working with them, maybe they have marketing rights or something. They you know, they got a deal for marketing rights or something like that. But I think Xbox is supposed to be doing something soon too, at like Tokyo Game Show or something. But who knows? I wonder what the next Xbox game coming to PlayStation is going to be. And I imagine it might be Starfield. That's my prediction. And if Starfield came to PlayStation, I'm wondering, I'm like, will I buy a game like... do I even want that game? Forza Horizon. I feel like Forza, Halo, and Gears of War, while it's possible though those games could come over. I feel like those are like the last games that they're those are the last games that will ever come over. I feel it's possible.
Keep pushing.
I could be
We
completely
need to
wrong,
establish a foothold.
but I feel like they want to save those games. Um, and bring over games like Indiana Jones, Starfield, games like that. Dope. I don't know if Starfield came out. It's like it's gonna be such a huge year next year. I feel. Oh, watch! I'm gonna launch myself. You can let people launch you. Okay, that was a bad idea.
Well fought. We have taken the fortifications.
I don't know. Maybe I would check out Starfield if I had time to, if it was available. I've never played much of Fallout or Skyrim or those type of games before. But at least with Starfield, it's like I can jump in right from the get-go. I don't have to worry about catching up, getting, you know, playing the older games or something. This guy's just standing there. Let's give these guys some health. Alright. I'm on cooldown. Okay. Now here's my... I can do my heavy swing, which is L1. Okay. Pretty much I just use the R2 swing, though. I don't try to get too fancy. Sometimes it calls for it, though, to mix it up. Alright, so we want to get these ships going. I feel like I need a shield. Pick up the shield here. We have to let these barrels go. They can defuse. The other team can defuse it, so we don't want that to happen. Woohoo! I love the cinematics of this game. Even though it's a multiplayer game, there's just a lot of, like, so much love went into this game. You know, it really does feel like swashbuckling, and they really capture your imagination on all fronts in this game with what you're doing and stuff like that. Oh. Got him. I got no bandage. But I think there's a... I can go over here, I think. Go to the ammo crate, and then you can get a bandage for yourself. And then since I used a bandage, I can get another bandage for later. Alright. Let me set up a banner for the fellas. Oh!
The
Worth it.
Agathian flagships have been immobilized. Masons, use their own powder kegs against the main gate.
The quicker you do a phase, the more time you buy yourself for the next phase, so that's cool. Oh, this guy was hiding behind this. I saw that. Again, so this game was in the running for my Game of the Year for 2021. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart beat that, but this game is like, to me, one of the best online games on PS5 right now. Crossplay also, which is a plus, a big plus. We want to get rid of these barricades here. Alright, so these guys are bringing the barrels up. They're gonna try to blow up this gate here. Damn it. Oh! Almost got up again. Alright, best to clear these guys out. Dope! Easier said than done. But yeah, what else could I expect from the state of play? Maybe more Judas? But what can we see new? That's the thing. It's like...
The gate is destroyed! Overwhelm the outer ward!
And I still don't know, like... Do you have anything that you're looking forward to by the end of this year? That you know of? Because I think the only things that I'm looking... or that I have my eye on is that Croc remaster. Maybe something I'll look into. And there is another game coming out, which is supposed to be like a... It's made by the guys that made that Twin Breaker game that I used to showcase, that twin stick, you know, like paddle game that I was playing. There's a new game coming out from that studio, Liliamo Games, and by the guy who broke the guy who is writing that game is the guy who broke the news about Concord being $400 million, which is Colin Moriarty. He's the guy that was the main character, along with Chris Reagan in Twin Breaker when I was playing that game. They're coming out with a new game, which is supposed to be kind of like a RPG, but it's supposed to be like kind of like a 2D RPG, from what I'm hearing, and it's supposed to be completely original story and stuff like that. So I'm willing to see what they're gonna put out there. Like, you know, I don't know necessarily if it's gonna be for me, but I'm willing to give it a chance if it looks halfway decent. But we'll see. But yeah, you're not too sure. Yeah, it's like that, and that's what the state of play has to do for me. You know, let me know what's coming. Like, let me know if there's anything to look forward to. If not for the end of this year, for at least for like the beginning of next year. Alright, so right now I'm not doing bad, but I'm not doing as my best. But we'll see. Oh, desecrate the relics. We gotta get rid of this last one right here. You can see I'm getting objective points when I'm doing this, which is good. There we go. That should topple the whole thing. Oh yeah, there is this new Sonic X Shadow Generations game coming out. Yeah, but my coworker, I have a coworker at work who I usually cover for, and he is a big Sonic fan. And I think he was talking about this today. So that's good. You know. Sonic seems to be getting its flowers when it comes to all these games coming out. So I'm glad that fans can enjoy that, especially with the movies and everything. You know, you guys are eating good.
The Agathians are holding out in the church. Assault the church.
Aside from that, I just can't. It's weird. I can see this. I can see the chat bubble, but it's cut off. But then it takes like a second to come on to. Okay, come on to my phone. Aside from that, I just can't wait for 2025. Yeah, that's what I'm. You know, I feel like that's going to be one of the bigger years for me. I don't know why I picked up this shovel, or when I did, but.
Into the church and lay waste.
Yeah, Sonic is getting its own game showcase tomorrow as well. Oh, so it's getting its own showcase. Okay, so at least we can eliminate that from the 20 plus games that are going to be shown at State of Play, because it's going to get its own little showcase. Alright, so now we're desecrating Phaedrid's tomb. This is the last phase. We pretty much have it in the bag. We have 6 minutes to do it. We have some monks here. You can choose to be a monk if you're on defense, if you're like in the top tier players. I think they have like a little bit of extra offense with their weaponry or something. That's why you would want to do it. It's funny, I'm so used to playing this game with other people and hearing them on Discord that I'm not used to all the ambient sounds that happens in this game, like the church bells, and I'm hearing like, you know, NPC fighters from like across the way. Like I can hear like yells out in the distance. Usually it's all implied, but I'm hearing it more clear now, and it's kind of cool. All right, we're about halfway done with this. Let's put a banner out. Look at this. This guy's in the confessional. Which I'll go in. This is what I miss about old games. Like SOCOM used to do this, where you can go like in a porta potty and close the door, or like in a bathroom stall, and just hang out and hide from the enemy. I just like how games get cheeky like that. Dope. We'll probably make this the last match, because it will end at a nice time of the hour. Looks like we're doing good. So far, so I think we got like 4 matches in. I think, I believe. We'll showcase every single map in this playthrough. Haha. Oh, see how like action-packed this game is from a multiplayer standpoint? Everyone's like everywhere.
The Agathians are fleeing the hallowed city in disgrace.
So as you can see, I'm pretty ranked 213, which is pretty. It's a lot. It's a lot of hours of play. we'll call it here though. Next time we'll do Aberfell. Right now I'm gonna go to the menu just to see if I can explore some things that we just to like show stuff or whatever. But we'll do this next time. Next time I'm on Aberfell, I'll boot up the game. I'll obviously know the map rotation, so I'll probably be playing the map we just played, and then I'll like lead us into it. But for now, let's look at you know, I don't know. Let's see what's anything of interest. Let's look at my profile for now. A lot of this is kind of like take it or leave it because a lot of the stats are kind of wonky. But as you can see, like there's three different factions in this game. There's Mason, which is the red, that red symbol at the left. The next one, the blue one, that's Agatha, and then the next one, which is the gold, is Tenosian. So this is showing like my matches, like 100 wins to 81 losses, 91 wins to 100 losses, 17 wins to 31 losses. A lot of people don't like to play as Tenosians. Those are kind of like the new guys introduced later in the game. By the way, everything, all the maps, all the content in this game has been rolling out since 2021 and up until this year, and they finally concluded it. They concluded what they wanted to do. And they're pretty much full force working on whatever their next game is. Torn Banner Studios and Tripwire, I think, is the publisher. But they are a great studio. Definitely recommend. As you can see, I pretty much play as a Guardian here. All my hours played. I don't know if there's anything of interest here, but yeah. The only thing I'll say before we leave, since we have a little bit of time, just to talk about that did we talk about Concord? We talked last time about Concord going, getting canceled and kind of getting refunded and recalled, but we didn't talk about what the news break of it costing $400 million, and not only 400. It was $200 million to get it to what is called like a minimum viable stability or something like that, which is basically like an alpha stage where the game is greenlit to be, okay, let's work on this game. Yep. $400 million, Concord. 8 years. Sony bought into it when it was about $200 million in, but then it apparently it looked like it was in a very laughable state. This is all coming from Colin Moriarty on Sacred Symbols podcast, Last Stand Media. By the way, just to credit him, because he had an inside source from the Concord dev team that was very solid and told him this. So many unsold copies, just like E.T. the Atari back in 1983. Yeah, that was a big blunder back in the day. I remember hearing. But yeah, and apparently one of the things that was really bad for Concord's development was, it was set up like apparently there was a lot of, like what the dev in the source from the dev team for Concord said was there was toxic positivity around this game, which means during the production of the game, during the development, you couldn't say anything bad about the game. It all had to be positive comments. Everyone was like, if you said anything negative or anything constructive, any constructive criticism about the character designs, the map layout, the way the aesthetic, the direction they're going in, it was discouraged, and you weren't being a team member basically. So everyone had to kind of just like plaster this smile on their face, saying everything's great, from the trenches, even though a lot of them knew that it wasn't, but if they were to keep working, they basically had to keep their mouth shut and just keep working on it. and the higher ups were just kind of greenlighting the game as it was going. It was basically a result of really bad upper management. Um, and another thing to note is that Herman Hulst, who's now the CEO, he came from Guerrilla Games. He was one of the creative directors for Killzone back in the day. He was one of the guys that were shepherding Horizon and everything. This game Concord was apparently his baby, and they were trying to make it into this like Star Wars phenomenon type game. They thought this was going to be the quote unquote the future of PlayStation. Um, they really thought they were gonna like come out swinging with like one of the craziest cultural games of our lifetime or something with this game, which is insane to bank on. Something so silly to bank on, and apparently it's a little worrying that he's the CEO. I always liked him. I always thought you know, I always thought he brought a lot to the table. I always respected him as a leader from a creative side. I don't know how he does compared to Jim Ryan as a CEO, but for this to be what was supposed to be his baby, Concord was supposed to be his big focus project, and for it to flop like this, it's kind of scary to think about. Um, what else are we in for? I don't know. Um, I'm so glad this game flopped. What the heck? They really thought this game was going to be the next Uncharted. They really thought this game was going, and I think it was owed also to trying to do these story vignettes and segments between the multiplayer. Every time you boot the game up, there was going to be a new one each week or whatever, and they thought this was. I guess I thought that it was like innovative or some experimental new thing, but I don't know. Like, does anyone really care about these characters or this world really? Like, we never. That's like imagine putting $400 million into a story that you don't even know if it's going to be worth it for people, or a world that you don't even know if it's going to be worth it. Like, how do you and to buy the studio before even working with them? It's I hope that they learned a big lesson from this, because I just don't want to see any more of this. I don't want to see any more. They can't afford blunders like this constantly. One one $400 million mistake is 10 times more than enough. We don't need any more. We don't know what's going to happen with this game, Fair Games, that's coming out. Maybe it will be more of a hit. You never know. Helldivers 2 was a big hit. We don't know what's going to happen with Bungie's Marathon, but I don't know. It's just a weird era. It makes me wonder. It makes you wonder. The Jim Ryan era, the live service push. Was he forced out? Knowing they must have known that something was off. Um, it's sad to see Connie Booth lose her job earlier. Uh, was it this year? Yeah, it was earlier this year. Connie Booth, who's been with PlayStation since PS1. If you played any Sony game, she's always in the credits. Going all the way back to Crash Bandicoot. Um, so I don't know. I just hope that this state of play can. Astrobot was a big win. They need to get more smaller games like that into the ecosystem. And the state of play, I feel like they need to remind us what PlayStation's all about. Remind that audience. So I'm looking forward to that. Imagine how many games they could have made with that amount of money. There was somebody who made a tweet who had compiled all the budget for Elden Ring, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and a third game. What was it? It was a third game, but those three games. Oh, and Spider-Man 2. So Spider-Man 2, Elden Ring, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I think it was. I think. I could be wrong. I did see that tweet, but I definitely remember Ratchet and Clank, Elden Ring, and a third game, and it was a pretty big game. All three of those games combined do not match the budget of $400 million. And there's a lot of debate whether this is credible. The source is credible. I mean, the source is credible. Um, and Colin Moriarty is credible. Like they are like Colin Moriarty is not in the business of making anything up like this. He's not. He's been in games journalism. He does everything by the book and above board. I've always trusted him. I trust that his source told him what was going on. I don't know if there's something to be confused about the money here, but I believe it. And it's like you said, it's ridiculous. But anyway, let's try to end on a positive note. State of play tomorrow. Let's get something good. Let's get something worth it. I want to see some like this is what I always wanted in a state of play. Something new that I just didn't think that I didn't expect to wow me from regardless if it's first party or not. Something that's like completely out of the blue that I didn't even expect. Obviously, I'll manage my expectations, but I also at least I want to see one first party game that we haven't really seen yet. I don't want to see more Death Stranding trailers. If we see another one, fine, I'll probably enjoy it, but I don't need to see more of that. It would be nice to see like a DLC for the end of the year for like Spider-Man 2. Um or even Astrobot if they can do that, but I don't even know if they who knows. But, like a time trial thing or something, that would be cool. But give us show us one first party studio that I can get excited about for next year. Um, I'll be all about that. And if there's something else that catches my eye, it's supposed to be like 20 plus games at this thing. It's 30-minute showcase, so we'll see. Hoping for the best, and I'll try to follow up pretty quickly. Because unlike Summer Game Fest and you know, that all that nonsense where it was just like nothing, we at least know that there's something for us here. There's something of interest to talk about here. So, on that note, Pebble Pig, it's been a pleasure. Anyone out there who wants to like, comment, or subscribe to Kev Plays 9490 on YouTube, it's greatly appreciated. You can also follow me on Twitter at Let's Watch Series. Other than that, stay safe, stay healthy, keep a clear head, and keep on gaming. And we'll continue this. We'll flip flop between this and Last of Us Part 2. I want to get more of these like online games in, just kind of showcase the map rotation, maybe some of the modes, and then and yeah, excited things going. Excited now that the summer's cooling down, the weather's cooling down. It's nice to kind of just like hop on this and just like stream and have fun and stuff like that. So anyway, I'll catch you next time. Peace out.